anyway, this thing implemented, I'm going to play a song and I'm going to talk some more. That's the order of the day so far. I didn't make a plan for this, so whatever happens is pretty much the way I planned it.
And you notice I walked on the car a while ago. I did that on purpose because I can. I'm not worried about scratching the paint or nothing, which I like. I think it's cool.
That's right. This is a torque ring from a 1953 Cadillac down-the-flow transmission, this part right here. Now, you might say to yourself, well, they didn't put down-the-flow transmissions in the 53 Cadillac, but they did because the factory burned down where they made the automatic transmissions. And they had all these old down-the-flow transmissions laying around, which were basically pretty good boat anchors, but not much for a transmission. So a certain number of Cadillacs got them installed, including this one. This is a 53 Cadillac engine, and it had the old down-the-flow transmission hooked to it. And I didn't know this, but when I took it apart, you had to dismantle the torque converter to get it off of there. And when I dismantled it, this was inside it. And I said, hey, man, I make a great banjo. And it has. I'm getting excited about it. Woo! I love building a car and building a banjo all out of the same part. It just gets me all excited. So, anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you see before you today because this is the direct result of what can happen when things go terribly wrong in the life of a young man. I mean, after all, you know, if you'd seen me back when I was a little kid, other than for the rust-colored specks in my eyes, which might have been a dead giveaway, or the way I played in the sandbox, you know, you might not recognize that things could go possibly wrong, but they could. Having grown up and all, and gone off to college and learned all about Carl Jung and how everybody is equally as bad as they are good and all that, I now understand it. Just because my brother was out stealing hubcaps off the cars and selling fireworks out behind the high school to buy cigarettes, and I was sitting in church with Mom holding her hand most of the time, that didn't necessarily mean I wouldn't go wrong. I mean, after all, he grew up to be a police officer. I went the other way, that's the whole problem. I said, everything went wrong for me. And it wasn't, you know, it was really my mom and dad's fault, although they didn't realize it. They were basically good people, you know. Every day, Dad would go off to work in the factory, and Mom would be in the house there watching the guy in the light. Me and Clyde Williams, we'd be out in the garage, in the sandbox, out under the tree out there next to the garage, and we'd be playing with our little rubber cars. And I had me one of these. This was my daily driver, a little Plymouth sedan. This is what we drove, you know, to work and to the grocery store. And this is my pickup truck. This is what I drove to go get my parts with. And this right here was my hot rod. If y'all look at that, if y'all look at this, you might see a striking resemblance. That's part of where it all started, but it ain't all where it all started because on top of that, quite innocently, my mom and dad took us to the drive-in movie one time when I was a little boy, and I had an impressionable mind. And the movie that night was Thunder Road with Robert Mitchum. How many of y'all seen Thunder Road? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Woo, doggy, what movie that is? he's out there in this old Ford, and he's out running people, and they're chasing him, and he's so cool. You know, he's got these guys behind him, and they're shooting at him, and they're blowing the windows out of the side of the car. Every time they shoot a gun in the car, he does one of these, like he flicks his head, like he's got a mosquito bothering him, you know? How cool is that? These guys are chasing him, and he's going down the road. He's got one hand on the wheel, he's got one arm out the window, he's got windows getting blown out, he's flicking his head, and he's got this look in his eye like, I don't care, I can take it. Doesn't bother me a bit. Shoot at me all you want, I can take it. I'm tough, I'm an old guy. Oh, I was just a little kid, and I was eating it up. I was like, oh man, when I grow up, I want to be him. That was awesome. So, anyway, there's a point in the movie where these bad guys are chasing him. They're on a 2-lane road. He's driving along. They pull up next to him. They got guns and stuff. They want to kill him dead. And he lights a cigarette, takes a little puff. He goes out the window. Cigarette lands in the seat. The guy goes, ah! Runs off the road. The car blows up, explodes, and it's all over. He done killed guys with a cigarette. Man, that's power. I wanted to grow up and have that kind of power. And then you wonder I took the wrong road.